Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss.
Welcome to our mathematics class. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Igusti Agung Ayurai Angelita Utami. You can call me Miss Angelita. I will be your teacher for this class. Now, since today is our first meetings, I would like to get to know all of you. Let's start with you. What is your name?
My name is Idewa Agustia Pramana Putra. You can call me Agustia. I am leader in this class. How are you today, Miss?
I'm very well, Agustia. Thank you. Today we are going to start a new chapter. If you look at this slide, our topic for today is quadratic equation and function. Begin Before we begin the lesson, let's pray together so that everything runs smoothly. Agustia, could you please lead the prayer today?
Yes, Miss. Before we study, let's pray together. Pray begin. Pray finish.
Thank you, Agustia. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Before we dive into the detail of the materials, I want to share our learning objective for this topic. By the end of this lesson, there are 4 learning goals that we need to achieve together. Let's go through them one by one. First, you are expected to understand the concept of quadratic equation and quadratic function. Second, you should be able to solve simple quadratic equation using appropriate method, such as factoring or the quadratic formula. Third, you will learn how to identify the root, graph, and main characteristic of quadratic function. And fourth, you will learn to apply quadratic equation and function to solve real-life problems. Now, let's look at this slide. We will start with a basic question. What is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is a polynomial equation of degree 2 in one variable, written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is not equals to 0. Here, x is the variable, the letter a and b are called coefficients, and c is a constant. It is very important that a is not equal to 0. If a equals 0, then the term x squared disappears and the equation is no longer a quadratic equation. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Here, we can see some example of quadratic equation. On the left side, we have 3 different equations. Let's read them together. First, x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Second, 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. And third, x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Notice the note on the right. All content variables raised to the power of 2. This is exactly what we discussed earlier. The highest exponent of the variable x in all this example is 2. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Our next topic is how to solve quadratic equation. As you can read on the slide, quadratic equation can be solved using several methods. This means there is more than one method we can use. Each method has different steps. For example, we will learn factoring, completing the square, and using the quadratic formula. However, please remember that even though the steps are different, the goal is the same. The goal is to find the root or solution for the quadratic equation. In other words, we are looking for the value of x that make the equation true. Now, let's look at this slide. We will learn our first method to solve a quadratic equation, which is factorization. Let's consider the example x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. To solve this using factorization, our goal is to find two numbers that satisfy two conditions. First, when the numbers are multiplied, the result must be the constant term, which is positive 6. This is called the product. Second, when the numbers are added, the result must be second, when the numbers are added, the result must be the coefficients of x, which is negative 5. This is called the sum. The correct pair is negative 2 and negative 3. Let's check. Negative 2 times negative 3 equals 6, and negative 2 plus negative 3 equals negative 5. So it worked. Therefore, we can write the factor form as open parenthesis x minus 2 close parenthesis times open parenthesis x minus 3 close parenthesis equals 0. Now, remember the key rule. If a product is 0, then at least one of the factor must be 0. This is called the zero product property. So, we set its factor equal to 0. First, x minus 2 equals 0, so x equals 2. Second, x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals 3. Therefore, the solution are 2 and 3. Now, let's look at this slide. We will learn our second method to solve a quadratic equation, which is completing the square. Let's consider the example x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. The first step is to focus on the coefficient of x, which is 6. We divide it by 2 and then square the result. So, 6 divided by 2 equals 3, and 3 squared equals 9. Therefore, 6 divided by 2 and then therefore open parenthesis 6 divided by 2 close parenthesis square equals 9. Next, we add and subtract 9 to keep the equation balance. X squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9 plus 5 equals 0. The expression x squared plus 6x plus 9 form a perfect square trinomial, which can be written as open parenthesis x plus 3 close parenthesis square. Then we simplify the terms. Negative 9 plus 5 equals negative 4. So we get open parenthesis x plus 3 close parenthesis square minus 4 equals 0. We move um, negative 4 to, to the right side, so it becomes positive. Open parenthesis x plus 3 close parenthesis square equals 4. Now, we take the square root of both sides. Remember, square root give two values, positive and negative. X plus 3 equals plus or minus 2. Finally, we solve for x. If x plus 3 equals 2, then x equals negative 1. If x plus 3 equals negative 2, then x equals negative 5. So, the solution are negative 1 and negative 5. Now, let's look at this slide. We are going to learn our third method, which is the quadratic formula. This formula is very powerful because it can solve any quadratic equation even when factoring is difficult. The formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. First, we identify the coefficients a, b, and c from the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Let's consider the example x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. From this equation, we get a equals 1, b equals negative 4, and c equals 3. Now we substitute this value into the quadratic formula. Be careful with the negative sign. Since b equals negative 4, then negative b equals 4. Inside the square root, negative 4 square equals 16. And 4 a 4 times a times c equals 4 times 1 times 3 equals 12. So the formula becomes x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 12 all over 2, which simplifies to x equals 4 plus or minus the square root by 4 all over 2. Since the square root of 4 equals 2, we get x plus 4 plus or minus 2 over 2. Now we separate the two cases. First, x plus 4 plus 2 over 2 equals 3. Second, x equals 4 minus 2 over 2 equals 1. So the solution are 3 and 1. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Our topic is the discriminant, usually denoted by the capital letter of D. Do you remember the quadratic formula? The discriminant is the expression inside the square root. It is given by D equals B squared minus 4 times A times C. We use the discriminant to determine the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation without solving the equation completely. There are three possible cases. First, if d is greater than 0, the equation has two distinct real roots. Second, if d is equal to 0, the equation has one repeated real root or a double root. And then third, if d is less than 0, the equation has no real root because the square root of a negative number is not real. In this case, the roots are complex or imaginary. Now, let's move on to the next slide. After learning quadratic equation, we will now study the general form of a quadratic function. Please look at the formula. Fx equals ax squared plus bx plus c. This looks very similar to a quadratic equation, but instead of setting it equal to 0, we define it as a function fx. This means the output depends on the input value of x. Here, a, b, and c are constant, meaning fixed numbers. Also, a is not equals to 0. To answer, the function remains quadratic. The variable x is called the independent variables, meaning we can freely choose its value. Everyone, please look at this slide. Today's topic is graph behavior of quadratic function. The U-shaped graph is called a parabola. A parabola can open in two directions. It can open upwards or downwards. Let's try a quick quiz. Look at this function. Fx equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. What is the value of the coefficient a?
A equals 1, miss.
Correct. Since a is greater than 0, the parabola opens upwards. Now, look at the second function. Fx equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 1. What is the value of a now?
A equals minus 1, miss.
Good. Since a is less than since a is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. So, the rule is if a is greater than 0, the parabola opens upwards. If a is less than 0, it's open downwards. Now, let's check the answer on the next slide. So, your answer is correct, Agustia. Excellent. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Our topic is the effect of the discriminant on the graph. As we discussed earlier, the discriminant is given by d equals b squared minus 4 times a times c. The discriminant helps us determine how the quadratic graph interact with the x-axis without fully solving the equation. There are three possible cases. First, if d is greater than 0, the graph intersects the x-axis at two distinct points. Second, if d is equals to 0, the graph touches the x-axis at exactly one point. This point is called the vertex point and the x-axis. And third, if d is less than 0, the graph does not intersect the x-axis at all. The parabola lies completely above or below the axis. Alright class, let's look at this slide. Now that we have learned the key properties of quadratic function, we will learn to how to sketch the graph of a quadratic function step by step. To sketch a parabola accurately, we need to find three important features. Let's follow the grid on the slide. Step 1. Find the x-intercept. These are the points where the graph crosses the x-axis. We can find them by solving the quadratic equation using x1 and 2 equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Step 2. Find the y-intercept. This happens when x equals 0. The coordinate is always open parenthesis 0, comma c, close parenthesis. Step 3. Find the vertex or turning point. The vertex is the highest or lowest point of the parabola. Its coordinates are open parenthesis negative b over 2a, comma d over negative 4a, close parenthesis. Here, d is the discriminant. After plotting all these points, we connect them with a smooth curve to form a parabola. Now, let's look at this slide. We are going to study the three standard form of a quadratic function. Remember, even though these three mathematical expressions look different, they can represent the exact same graph. H form is useful because it gives us a different shortcut to find key details. First, we have the standard form fx equals ax squared plus bx plus c. This form is great because the constant c tells us the y-intercept instantly. Second, let's look at the factor form fx equals a open parenthesis x minus x1 close parenthesis open parenthesis x minus x2 close parenthesis. This is extremely helpful when we want to find the x-intercept. The numbers x1 and x2 are the point where our parabola cut the x-axis. Third, we have the vertex form. Fx equals a open parenthesis x minus h close parenthesis square plus k. This form tells us the most important point of the parabola, which is the vertex or the turning point. The coordinates of the vertex are simply open parenthesis h, k, close parenthesis. Now, let's move to the next slide. You might be wondering, why are we learning this? When do we actually use quadratic function in real life? Well, quadratic functions are incredibly useful. These slides show us the application of quadratic function across different fields. Let's look at the points. First, in physics, we see it in projectile motion. For example, when you kick a football or throw a basketball, the ball does not go in a straight line. The path of the balls curve and form a perfect parabola. Second, quadratic function help us in finding maximum and minimum values. In math, we call this optimization. For example, a farmer can use it to calculate the maximum area of land they can fence, or an engineer can use it to find the minimum cost to build a bridge. Third, it is highly uh, third, it is highly used in business profit analysis. Companies use quadratic models to predict how much they should sell their product for to achieve maximal profit or minimum cost. So, as a summary, these equations are important model in physics and economics, helping us with motion, optimization, and revenue analysis. Alright class, put your notebooks down for a moment because it is quiz time. Please take a look at this slide. Let's read the question together. The values of a, b, and c of the following function are, and the quadratic function is fx equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. We have three options here, A, B, or C. Take a close look at the signs of the numbers. If anyone wants to try and answer this question, please raise your hand. Don't be shy.
I want to try, Miss. I think the correct answer is C.
Alright, Agustia, you choose option C. Now, let's check your answer together on the next slide. Look at the dark green highlight on option C. So, your answer is correct. Great job, Agustia. We have reached the end of our lesson today. To wrap things up, let's look at the summary of quadratic equation and function on this slide. First, remember that a quadratic equation is defined as an equation where the highest powers of the variable is 2. Second, when we plot it on a graph, a quadratic function always forms a beautiful shape called a parabola. Third, the root of a quadratic equation are simply the values of the variable that make the whole equation equal to 0. Finally, quadratic equation and function are powerful tools used to solve many real-life problems such as motion, area calculation, and optimization. I hope these summaries help you remember today's key concept. Great work today, everyone! Excellent work today, everyone! You have explored the form of quadratic function, learned how to sketch their graph, and discover how they are applied in real-life scenarios. I hope today's lesson helped you understand quadratic function better. Before we end our lesson, does anyone have any question about the material?
No, Miss. Everything clear. Thank you for today's lesson.
You're welcome, Agustia. Thank you everyone for your active participation. Now, let's close our class. Class leader, please let us in prayer.
Before end our class, let's pray together. Pray begin. Pray finish.
Thank you, Agustia. Have a great day, everyone. Stay healthy, keep learning, and see you in our next lesson. Goodbye.